Hi, I'm Carl Pearson, and in this video I'm going to talk about my series of videos which I now recognize as my video newspaper. For the past 40 years, I've noticed that the major daily newspapers somehow fail to get the important stories or to tell the truth about them. Many people, including myself, have thought that some of this is due to poor reporting. But instead, I've come to the conclusion that this is an excellent job of keeping things out of the press that would make the voters wise to how they are losing their country, property, and jobs to the rich and powerful. Time and time again, the press has failed to point out where the public is getting shafted and what should be done about it. True, the press will promote one candidate over another, and you might think that this is anything but cover-up. But I've come to the conclusion that supporting one candidate or another doesn't make much difference when the candidates are not that much different, when you look at what they do rather than what they say. Some candidates express themselves better and have a greater ability to say nothing without the public catching on. But when you come right down to it, it doesn't matter who wins as to most matters that are economic. We are still waiting for this economic tide to cause our ships to rise, and we'll continue to wait until the public is told what they need to know to make better or much better informed decisions on election day and before. My own background is I'm a high school dropout. I'm a magna cum laude graduate of Long Island University. I had a scholarship at Harvard Law School, and I've been practicing law in New York for more than 40 years, mostly civil rights, antitrust, intellectual property, and commercial litigation. And I do this in the federal and state courts, including courts in other states. I even tried to run for New York Attorney General in 2006, and it was quite a learning experience. I learned how people like me cannot get on the ballot. Over the years, I have figured out how many of the hidden tricks work that enable the corporations and individuals that control the country to maintain their control, even as political party fortunes change from Republican to Democratic and back and forth. Creation and enforcement of laws of bad laws, as well as deliberate non-enforcement and non-creation of good laws, are a major part of what's happening. We have used a country of laws, rules, regulations, courts, and enforcers to take away the country from the governed. I discuss some of the top stories that have never hit the major media in my video series and recognize that my videos are, in effect, a video newspaper, giving the public some of the most important news being withheld from them. Let's look at my present video list. The first video, a low tuition equivalency college, which I can set up in any town, village, or country, even no tuition, and do it in 2 months, and it doesn't take any money. Now, why isn't that newsworthy where everyone can have a college education for a package of cigarettes a day? Secondly, I tell people how to stop paying their mortgage, because if you're running out of money, it doesn't make sense to give the bank every penny you have. It's better to stop paying right now. My third video is a whole rash of trademark infringement lawsuits are hitting the country because of laws that were set up for a bounty of $1 million per violation that you can find. That we need the fourth one, we need town attorneys general to start enforcing these laws, because we have enforcement at the top and they decide not to enforce it. We need to have enforcement at the local level where people live. We need to have a reduction of the regulations and laws that relate to employing people to make it easier for small business to employ people. So I propose that all rules and regulations be eliminated as to the first 3 employees. That's my 5th video. And that towns and villages that have a payroll administrator will make it easier for small business and even households to hire people and put them on payroll and at lower cost and less problems. We need mask marketplace which I've invented to substitute for the diminishing job market in the country. That's a video number 7. We have the ability to stimulate prosperity in a town without any government help, except for the government itself in that town. So look at that video, number 8. The 9th one is that arbitration, because of rule of law, has become a fraud. And it's important to know that for anyone that is going to be stuck in arbitration. Municipal pensions, they're too much. It's ruining the nation's towns, villages, counties, and states, and I propose a statute that would be a partial bankruptcy in order for the bankruptcy court to eliminate these excesses. In number 11, I have a business checklist of laws and rules, statutes that one should look at when deciding whether to bring a suit or bring a counterclaim when sued. I show people how in my 12th video to defend foreclosure actions, and there's some reference, I believe, to the non-judicial foreclosure problem in California and other states where they don't go to court to have a foreclosure. Number 13 is a very good one. It talks about the 10 most needed reforms in the United States to prevent us from becoming a third world country where we're rapidly heading, with the reduction of our constitutional rights included as part of this dwindling country, the diminishing country. Unemployment is a curable economic disease. I explain how that is so. The stimulus, if we enforce the nation's antitrust laws, we'll find that we can have a cure for much of what's wrong. Failing newspapers, my 17th video, they're only failing because they're not providing the things that I provide and what the public needs. We need newspapers to tell the truth, and the public will buy them, and the newspapers would prosper once again. They've done their job of ruining the country. Now it's time that they get ruined unless they change. Jury nullification is a right that nobody knows. You have a right to nullify the instructions of the jury without being sanctioned. And I talk about the AIG bonuses and what should be done about it, particularly having a partial bankruptcy, and let the judges review and take back these bonuses as a unlawful preference or a fraudulent conveyance. And this is basically what my newspaper is about. It's a video newspaper that tells you what you need to know, what you haven't been finding out, and every single one of my videos you will find is filled with information that you were not told, but you should have been told. It is legally oriented, and that's the way that they have maintained control of the country, through this legal orientation that they hide what's going on behind the law, and then they don't enforce the laws that they don't want to enforce, and they selectively enforce the others. Anyway, that's my video newspaper. I think you should take a look. You can go to my channel, sign up, and see them as they come out. And I look forward to having you join and become one of my viewers on my video newspaper. You can check for all the videos that I have through a trademark that I use, which is CEPersVid. You can see it right here. CEPersVid. Thank you.